Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp outage wasn't just inconvenient for people looking for the latest cat meme. There are millions of black and brown business owners who suffered yesterday as well. Our justice correspondent Candace Kelly shares more. Good morning once again, Candace. So we're talking about the Supreme Court. We're talking about power. This is something that legalese and the law has to do with a lot of things. All right, let's talk about those business owners first and foremost. This goes down. They rely a lot on their business. I know they said Facebook lost billions of dollars yesterday, but what about these people who rely on this site and it goes down? What kind of legal ramifications can they have against Facebook to recoup some of their lost earnings?
Well, listen, when you sign up with Facebook, there are about 76 hours worth of a contract if you really look at what you're signing up to. Facebook, if they wanted to, could go out of business if they wanted to. They don't have any allegiance to anybody that signs up. We're not paying for a service, right? It's kind of just interdependent that we kind of work with each other in order for one to make money in conjunction with the other. So in terms of the liabilities and what Facebook's responsibilities are to you as a consumer, a business owner, there really is none. But this really is an eye opener for business owners to ask themselves, well, what is it that you're going to do if these types of things do disappear? I mean, do you have emails of your clients? Do you have other ways to reach out? So I think it made people think in a totally different way.
Here's what I'm getting at, Candace. So when this went down, I had heard about the 60-minute report, and I heard all the issues that Facebook was under and the scrutiny that they were under, and then all of a sudden it goes down. And not only does Facebook go down, Instagram goes down, WhatsApp goes down at the same time. Like, is this a Russian hack? Or did they do this on purpose to cover some stuff?
This whistleblower, I'm not saying that she planned it, but if she did, she couldn't have planned it better. 60 Minutes on Sunday, Facebook goes down on Monday. She's testifying today, I think, at 10 o'clock. So you have to understand how Facebook kind of manages its network. They manage it themselves. Most big businesses, they contract it out. Facebook, they have all the mental capability and intellectual properties to manage and do that on their own. So they were kind of tweaking it on their own. It was all in-house. In that it was in-house, I'm wondering who was in-house that is also dissatisfied with Facebook's disposition and all of these documents that were uncovered by this whistleblower. That's where my mind went, because this whistleblower did show internal communication boards from people in the company who were very upset with Facebook and did not like the way that they did business. They changed things leading up to the election in terms of making sure that maybe hatred and race riots wouldn't break out. But then after the election, they changed it. They went back to their old algorithms, and then we had the insurrection. So I'm thinking in that vein, who at the company is also mad, because I don't think that they expected that someone was going to take away thousands of pages of documents and go to the SEC and file eight complaints and be the whistleblower that people are now comparing to the whistleblower of the cigarette age, right? And smoking. I mean, this is a really, really big issue. If I was Facebook, I would be very, very scared and wondering, what are my employees thinking and doing? Because obviously they didn't know.
Well, if you're doing something wrong, you know you're doing something wrong. Somebody gonna snitch on you sooner or later, so they gotta worry about that. All right, so here's the thing, Candace. Let me play devil's advocate for a second, because this is what the law does, right? So Facebook is a privately owned company, right? And I know it's public now because of the whole situation when it comes to stocks and whatnot. But nobody's forcing anybody to get on Facebook. Nobody's forcing anybody to get on Instagram. So really, is there much of a responsibility that Facebook has when it comes to whatever they want to put out? If you sign up for it, I think you even sign maybe a consent form or whatever. How can they cover themselves when it comes to that? And with this testimony that this woman is giving today, how do you think that's going to impact what I just talked about going forward?
Listen, this is such a huge deal. I mean, I think after tomorrow, when we see the headlines, we're going to wake up to everything being this headline. To answer your question, the Securities and Exchange Commission, they have rules that you are supposed to inform your stockholders, your shareholders about information that's going on in the company. If you're withholding information, that you're changing algorithms, that you are not sharing reports about how what you are putting on your social media platforms is harming young girls and their image, if you're not sharing that by omission to your shareholders, well, that's a problem, and you could be
Mm.
fined, and things could happen to you according to the SEC. And so that's the thing. We're talking about what information are they hiding? Because as a shareholder, nobody wants information hidden. They're putting their money in it, they're putting their time into it, and they need all the information that they can in order to operate. And that's the contract that they have with Facebook. I'm a shareholder. I'm investing in you. Let me know what's going on with your company so I can know what to do with my money. And if you're not, then that's a violation of the SEC and their rules and regulations.
Yeah, we're going to see what kind of rules and regulations now that they're going to put and limitations that they put on all social media when it comes to that,
Absolutely.
including Twitter and everybody out there. So this is going to be a huge hearing today. Candace Kelly, you do it
Yes.
all for us. I don't know what we're going to talk about coming up next. The reason why I didn't win the lottery. Maybe I can sue somebody because, you know, who
I'll see if I
I
can
it's
find you
hard to pick
standing one
six
and get you in
numbers.
court.
Yeah, I mean, find something. I mean, like if I get three numbers, like I should be able to get something. That's even
No,
tough to do, right? So
no,
maybe you should look
right?
into a case for me when it comes to that. Or if one of my friends actually won here in California and I gave them a free dinner or something like that, can I get
Right.
something? I mean, like
Something back.
help a brother
Right,
out.
right. You see,
Yeah,
level of
something back
expectation.
pay. You know.
I understand.
hmm Plus, just a little on top of it. I'll take that. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I
right.
appreciate you, Candace.